the previous videos, we talked about what testing is, what unit testing is, why is testing important in the software development lifecycle. We also created and implemented our own REST API, which was a book controller API, and we also wrote a few tests for our methods inside our controller. We wrote tests for get all records success, get book ID success, create record success, and now in this video we will be writing the code for the update or the put API. And then in the next video and the final video, we will be writing a /delete endpoint using the test driven development method, where we first write the test and then we implement the delete endpoint for our application. And as you can see, we have tested out every single endpoint, whether it's working properly or not, based on just our tests, and we did not have any Tomcat web server running, or we didn't have to even run the application to understand whether our code is functioning properly or not. And that is majorly the power of unit tests, where these confirm the usage and the implementation of your code, and it ensures that the code which you're writing is implemented correctly. So yeah, pretty important, and you should be doing this whenever you write code which is used by organization. So before we start writing our unit test for the put API, let's just run the tests and see that everything is running smoothly. And we have only two more tests left to write. One is the update test, and the last one, which is going to be done via TDD, is the delete endpoint. So let's quickly see that everything is running smoothly, and we should be good to go. So everything is going on perfectly. All the tests have passed, and let's start with our put API. So for this, it is going to be how we want put to be, right? So we want to update a book record. So for that, first we have to mock two things here. So if you go inside book controller and see update book record, we are calling the book repository twice. First, to find the existing book record by the ID, so the one which you want to change, and then we update it with the record which we pass in the request body. And then we call book repository again with a .save method. So here, since we're using an external service twice, we'll have to mock both the methods find by ID and save. So when we mock both, then we are actually able to emulate or mock the entire repository and see whether the update is working properly or not, and the logic of it. So let's do that. Let's actually see this in action. We have our test annotation: public void update book record success, close exception, and let's start with it. So first we need to have an updated record, right, which will be in our request body. So we need to have a book record which is already updated. So let's have a book updated record, and we use the same builder class for this. So we use builder and dot. The book ID has to say the same. The next is the name. So the name is going to be changed to, let's say, updated book name. Next thing is summary. The summary is going to be updated summary, and lastly the rating is going to be 1 dot build. And now we have an updated book record. So first we find the record for 1L, so we need to mock that, and then we update it with the updated book object. So let's see how that is going to happen. So we want to mock things, right? So first thing which we need to mock is find by ID. So let's mock that first. So mockito dot when book repository dot find by ID, and this is going to be record 1 dot get book ID. So whenever it finds the record 1L or 1, then we return record 1, right? So that is basically what we did for get book by ID, and we were good to go. Now the next thing that we need to do is mock the next part, which is mocking the save method inside book repository. So let's copy this exactly, and here we do a save, and when we save, we want to update it with the new updated record. So we do updated record, and here then we return updated record again. So this will tell us that we have updated the record properly and we are good to go in this context. So let's quickly make the syntax look good. And yeah, so now whenever it goes inside the put, it first will go into this, check whether the book exists or not, and this is the logic which we are testing by unit tests. This will work because it is not null. Then we mock find by id, so we get back record 1, which is the existing hard-coded record which is mentioned globally. Next, we unit test the logic here, and it is present, so we don't get a not found, and we go in here. This part is handled by us, where we update the record, and then when we go to save, this is where we again mock it, and we just return back the existing book record, which confirms that our test is working properly without any issues. So what is next? Next is to again create a mock request. So before that, we have to get our content again. So let's quickly have our content defined, and here the content is going to be the updated record, and we can just call this updated content because it helps understand what it means. So we have updated content here, and the next thing would be to have build a mock request builder, right? So let's implement that. So we want a mock http servlet request builder, which is be a mock request, and this is going to be mock MVC request builder dot put. So we want to test put, and we want to test it for /book. The next thing is the content type which we want to accept. So it is going to be media application JSON. We accept the same thing, so media application JSON again. And last but not the least is the content which we pass, which is the updated request body, and this is going to be updated content. So now we have our mock request ready, and the last thing is pretty similar, pretty straightforward to what we had done for the post request, where we do mock MVC dot perform, and we perform the mock request. And once we perform the mock request, we expect something. The first thing which we expect is status to be okay. The next thing which we expect is that we should be returned something from it. So this is going to be JSON path, which will include the entirety of the JSON, and it should be not null. This ensures that we did get back something from our request. And the last thing is to check whether the name has been updated or not. So here we do a JSON path dollar dot name. There's only one ID here, and we do is, and we match the value updated book name, and this will confirm that yeah, so we went from record 1, and the name in record 1 was Atomic Habits, and then we are returning it back as updated book name here. So that is what we want to confirm, that our put worked perfectly, and it has given us exactly what we needed from it. So let's run this and see how this works. So the test has passed. That means our API, all of our create, update, and get, retrieve APIs are working properly for the ideal input that it gets, or the ideal parameters. Now we have done this for the success cases, right? But the homework here, which I would like you guys to try, is to try this for the not found exception. For example, what happens when you do a get by ID and you give it a random book ID which is not present in the database, and then what happens? How do you handle a not found exception? Because Here, if I would not give it as um, the book ID, but I would give it as 4L, which is technically not present inside our in-memory objects. So here this would fail, and we want to make sure that we also cover the cases where what happens when the method fails, and when the code crashes, are we handling that or not? So the homework would be to try to have a test which handles not found exceptions, because as you can see, we get a test fail here. So we need to handle those conditions in our unit tests as well. And that is the homework for you guys, where you need to understand how to write them, and we can definitely talk about them once you have given a solution in the comments. Make sure that you have a test class like this, a test method like this, and you have it a get book by id underscore 404 not found, or just not found, and implement this and let me know how it looks like, and then we can discuss it as a new video. So that's it for this video. We have covered how to actually write unit tests for our APIs. In the next and the final video, we will be writing the delete endpoint first by writing the unit test for it, and then we move on to actually implementing the delete endpoint. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.